Hello, and welcome to the Shooting Left of Center podcast. I am the Yankee Marshal, and it's going to be a little different today. It's not going to be anyone else but me. Never Enough Ammo is ill, and gunchannels.com is acting up, so I can't get a hold of the G-Webs over there. So it's going to be just me, and so I'm going to just do a continuance of our question and answer from the audience thing from Sunday. Especially because I didn't get to a lot of the questions on Sunday. So try to get to the some of the ones that I did not get to. Can I not click on stuff here? There we go. Get to those questions and maybe get to some new questions. So if you got any questions, email them to me at shooting@leftofcenter.com or shooting@leftofcenter. That's right. Yeah. Shooting left of center at gmail.com. I knew I was leaving out something there. So just going to be us, you and me tonight, the chat room losers and whoever's watching there. So we'll start off with some questions that I had in the emails from last week. And you're going to give me a second here because I'm going to have to actually find them. Not too good at finding stuff, of people who watch my channel know already. Got to weed through the comments or the caption suggestions for the Mavis t-shirt too, because a lot of it is coming in from that. So got to go back down to actual just questions. Okay, someone here is asking, will you buy the new 3-inch Rhino and will you carry it? What do you predict will happen? The new one, I'm not going to buy. The current one, I'm not going to buy it for carry. The current one, I will get one and keep it. I'm not going to carry that one. I don't know. That paint job is something. It's going to be good for collection, but not good for just keeping around and carrying. I don't think. I'll wait till they make it in black before I ever carry the 3-inch one. So I'm going to have to wait because I know they're not going to do that until next year. So we will see. Are you tolerant of an ankle carry? This is from Kyle P. If it's for a backup gun. I don't like ankle carry, period. Not even for a backup gun. If you're going to keep a backup gun on your ankle, that's up to you. It's not something I would do personally. A woman asked me how to transport a firearm in a car from Massachusetts to out west. I thought as easy as asking NRA. No, it's a tangled web of state and local laws. Any advice? Well, the advice is find out the local laws where you're going to be going. The best thing to always do is if you've got a firearm and you're transporting it anywhere, unload the firearm, perhaps even put a band in the, a zip tie in the action, put it in a case in the trunk, and make sure there's no ammo in the trunk. If you have any ammo, make sure it's in your glove box. You don't want the gun anywhere in the car, even in a glove box where you can get to it. And you don't want ammo in the same place as the gun. And then you're usually okay if as long as you're driving through. Now, there's some states you can't even stop and get gas if you've got a gun in the car. So make sure you know which states are which. I just smacked my microphone. Make sure you know which states are which and kind of keep your eye on the ball, make sure you know which state you're in and what's going to happen if you stop and get gas. Make sure you plan accordingly. Let's see here. Let's go to another question. T Mama wants to know, have you watched Forgotten Weapons on YouTube? Yeah, I've watched Forgotten Weapons. That wasn't much of a question, but I watch them. Someone keeps asking me about that shooting in Seattle of the Sikh man. I have still not read anything about that, and I haven't been watching the news lately. I've just been taking a break from the news, so I haven't seen anything about it. So still can't talk about that. Can't comment on it because I don't know what's going on. Adam D wants to know, do you think that truck rack for a rifle better than one in the cabin of the car? I'm not sure what. Trunk rack. I thought it said truck rack. Trunk rack. Yeah, if you're going to carry one around just for last case, last ditch effort, rifles aren't very easy to maneuver inside of a car anyway. So, trunk rig is perfect for guns. Keeps them more secure, plus keeps them out of sight. Because nowadays people probably see a gun rack in the back of your car and they'll probably break in to get it if they see the gun in the rack. So, let's see. Would you recommend? Then I'm a bigger guy, so appendix isn't the best idea. What would you recommend? I'm a bigger guy. Appendix isn't the best. I always recommend 3 to 4 o'clock outside waistband, but everybody can't carry the way I do. Appendix carries the worst way as far as I'm concerned. That and small back are like the 2 worst ways. What do you think of the Steyr handguns, i.e. the M1A? You know, I don't really know the names of the Steyr handguns, but I think they're cool looking, and I hear they're reliable. The triggers are a little clunky to me, the way they're designed. The gun itself is just kind of different looking. I actually like the looks of it. So I can't say a bad thing about them. I mean, just have never had one. Maybe I'll have one someday, but for right now, don't have one. Regressive leftists show up on my doorstep. They ask for all your guns. What do you do? No aggressive leftist going to come on my doorstep and ask for a gun. If you're asking the old question, if the government comes for your guns, well, you can bet they're going to come with more firepower than you have. So this whole notion of I'm going to go down fighting, well, that's just garbage. You're just going to get your family killed and yourself killed. There's a big thing about living to fight another day. You can't fight back. And plus, if you get killed, there's only one side of the story. Theirs. So that whole I'm going to go down fighting, that's just ridiculous garbage that people that have never been in a situation like that say. Just got my P320 RX compact, asshole, and it's just what the doctor ordered. However, the only holsters that I have for it with the site is the Comtac International, which is for competition only. Any recommendations? You know, I used Renaissance Firearms. Renaissance Firearms will make you a custom holster for that right away. They made me one with the RMR and for my light, because I had a light on it. And it's a light that not everyone makes holsters for, because it was that Enforce light. But they were able to get a model for the Enforce light. I helped them get it, actually. And then they started making them. So I would recommend them. Do you think being a member of the NRA is enough, or should I join multiple 2A groups? Always join multiple. Is there such thing as joining too many, he says. Mike in Florida. No, join as many as you can afford. Now, I'm a member of several. Most of them are only like, you know, a lot of the little groups are like $10 a month. So I dedicate like $100 a month to being a part of these memberships. And it's not much to dedicate. So, you know, that's the way I do. So no, I don't think there's too much. There's too much if you join too many and you can't afford it. That would be too many. But other than that, no, join as many as you can. What is your take on the Rock Island M206 revolver? It doesn't look promising. I've told people before I've seen it, and it just doesn't look promising. John Doe's want to know, would you carry a SIG P227 for open carry EDC? I mean, I would. It's not the gun I would choose. But if you're asking, would it be something that I think is capable for that or good for that? Yeah, I would say it's good for that. Are you a shotgun guy? And if so, what is your favorite? I don't even know if I have a favorite shotgun. I think my favorite shotgun is probably my Vepr, my semi-automatic shotgun, you know, magazine load, kind of like a big AK. That's probably my favorite shotgun, to be honest. So I guess I'm not really that big of a shotgun guy. FNX 45 Tactical versus H&K. I think they want to know about the H&K Tactical. I'd go with the FNX. The H&K is a little finer, more refined, but it's more expensive, and it actually holds less rounds. So I would go with the FNX 45, and I did when I bought mine. I went with the FNX 45, 20 DS or LCR. I like the LCR and 357 Magnum is a pain in the ass to shoot and difficult to shoot properly because it's so abusive. But the 200 DS from Chiappa shoots like you're shooting a 22 almost. It's so easy to shoot. So I'd say it's like a light 38. So I would definitely go Chiappa if it was a self-defense gun. But if you need something really small and lightweight to carry, you know, those 38 special LCRs are amazing for that. And they're not as abusive as the 357 Magnum. But I would rather have the 357 Magnum in the Chiappa because it shoots actually softer than the 38 does in the LCR. Hello from Morgantown, West Virginia. You damn dirty buffalo humper. Yeah. That's a Thundering Herd reference for those of you that aren't from West Virginia. Is it true that the FNX 45 tactical slide is stainless? Yes, it is true that it is stainless. All the FNX slides are stainless, I do believe. All the FN slides are stainless, I do believe, in that line, the FNX line, FNS line. So, yeah, you can bead blast finish off of them or let's finish wear, and it won't really be that big of a difference. Gear check. Nope, no gear check. Although, if you want to see what I'm carrying, I don't know, just let's see what I'm carrying. It's the same thing I always carry. It's my, why do I keep bumping my microphone? My Smith & Wesson 586 there. Boy, there's a delay on this thing because I can see myself now, just now drawing my gun. Put that back. That's good TV right there, watching me reholster my gun for 30 seconds. Where's Never Enough Ammo and gun websites? Never Enough Ammo is sick. He couldn't even do his own podcast last night. His kids got him sick. He says his kids got him sick. G-Webs I couldn't get a hold of. I sent him an email, didn't get a response. Gun Channels is not acting right, so I think he might be dealing with that right now. So I just figured, well, I tried to do a chat yesterday and couldn't get it to work. It would never work. So I figured, well, I'll just do a question and answer tonight because, last night didn't work. Okay, let's see here. Can you use red dot sights on revolvers? Yeah, if it has a rail. I've got some revolvers that have rails, so yeah, you can use them on those. I'm sure there's a way you could probably drill and tap one onto one if you wanted to, but I wouldn't unless it had a rail. How many anti-gunners does it take to shoot a gun? The answer is 10. 9 to look at it and be scared while one of them tries to figure it out. Ha ha. That's not a question, and it wasn't even a joke, really. It was an attempt, maybe. I am having an issue with my 1911. It's a Metro Arms American Classic. Never heard of it. Love the gun, but more often than not, when I load with hollow points the first round off the mag, either nose dives into the feed ramp or pitches up at a steep angle. That sounds like a magazine issue more than anything else to me. This has happened with my SIG V Clown 45A, Remington Gold Saber, and even Hornady. Also caused some noticeable bullet setback when the round nose dives. Sounds to me like it's a magazine issue if it's because it's getting hit hard with the mag by the slide when it's coming back into position. But I mean, it could be a feed ramp problem, but I would say it's probably a magazine problem. If you were to buy a 22 long rifle pistol, would you choose a Smith & Wesson 617 or the new Ruger Mark IV? Well, I just brought my son the Ruger Mark III. I wish I'd waited and got him the Mark IV. But I like the Mark III too. If it was going to be for me, it would definitely be the 617. I mean, the Smith & Wesson. Why? If I'm only going to get 10 shots anyway, or 11 really with the other. If I'm only going to get that in that range, why not go with the revolver? It's just a better platform because 22s never do super well in semi-autos because they're not a semi-auto round. So you got to stack them odd and they got to worry about them feeding properly and just a pain in the ass. So why not go revolver like the round was meant? What are your thoughts on the Beretta carbine? Spend extra on the CZ Scorpion. They're talking about the CX4 carbine. I like the Beretta CX4. I like it a lot. I would be a hard decision to go between it and the CZ. I actually think the CZ is a slightly better gun, not much better, but slightly better. But the Marines in Battlestar Galactica use the CX4. So, it's a wash. So, go with whichever one you want. I personally have a CZ, but it's for an SBR, not the carbine. If I was going to get a carbine, it would probably be the Beretta. I'd probably get the Beretta. But, that's just me because I already have the short CZ. What is your preferred sight setup for your EDC? Fiber optic front, rear target, or 3-dot sights? Tritium sights? All. I actually like the combination 3-dot tritium and fiber optics. Those what are those things called? The True Glows, the one where the fiber optic is lit by tritium. Those are awesome. Love them. Those are probably my favorite. Right now I'm really getting into red dots. Just bought a new one the other day, and showed everyone I bought a new one. I put up a video that was supposed to be a sneak peek only for my Patreon viewers. I'd like to give them little behind the scenes or just cell phone videos of what I'm doing that day, kind of a thing, or a look at a gun I just bought early, but I hit public instead of unlisted when I put the video up, so everyone got to see that I just bought a Trigicon RMR red dot yesterday. The thing was expensive as fuck. Even on sale it was like $580, so better be worth it. I don't know yet. My son's upstairs beating on his video games. Hold on, I have to mute everyone while I scream at my son. There, hopefully that will be better. Let's see here. What's the next question? Is there a revolver too big? Well, would you carry a Taurus Judge 45 Colt? Well, no, I wouldn't carry one. Wouldn't carry a Taurus Judge, period. Is there a revolver too big? Well, yeah, I would. I mean, if you're talking about for carry, because I wouldn't carry my 500 or my 460, they're just big and heavy. I wouldn't carry them every day. There's semi-autos that are too big too. This summer, I'm going to get an AR. They're going to get an AR-15. What brand should I look into? I have about $600, $800 to spend. I don't care. Really. They're all so similar to me. I don't really see much of a difference. I think you get more of a difference when you start looking at your parts, like what parts are in them, like your bolt carrier group, your buffer spring, etc. It makes more of a difference in how the gun feels to function. And your barrel, but I think they're all very similar nowadays. I just don't see a whole lot of big difference. If you can find a Colt for a good price, get a Colt. Just because it's Colt, if you ever decide you want to resell it, definitely going to keep its resale value. You always show your carry gun. What is your other EDC? Type of wallet, Leatherman, pocket knife. I've done that before. I've done a video about that before. So you just have to look. I think, I have my Star Trek wallet that I carry usually. There's my Star Trek wallet that I usually carry. And I carry my pocket knife. It's just an orange Spyderco. I carry a little flashlight, a little hand flashlight. I don't carry a whole lot of stuff with me every day, and my cell phone, of course, but don't carry a lot of. I'm not tacti-tarded out when it comes to, what I'm carrying around with me daily. I was looking at an FNP9. Do you have any experience with the FNP? Do you know why they were discontinued? No, I didn't even know they were discontinued. Are they discontinued? No, I don't really have any experience with the FNPs. So nope, I guess the answer to that's no. I'm curious if you're going to sell the Yankee Marshall t-shirts, because I would be interested. Well, I actually just did a video the other day. There's a company that approached me about doing t-shirts for me because they knew that I didn't want to do t-shirts. It's not worth the effort to go to get the money you make out of it is not worth the effort, but it'd be worth it to them because they do multiple channels t-shirts. So it'd be worth the money to them to do it. And then my fans would be happy too. And I wouldn't have to deal with it. So going to be having some t-shirts coming out, some designs I have done, and some shirts that I've worn on the channel. You can go over to their website, forgedfromfreedom.com, and then there's actually a link under collections for the Yankee Marshall, and you can find any shirt there I wear in my videos, and a couple that I have designed will be there eventually. In your opinion, what are the top 3 best states for gun owners? I have no clue. I haven't lived in every state. Washington's pretty good. We pretty much can have everything. We got universal background check, but that's about it. We can have most everything. Don't have requirements for a concealed carry permit. You just go down and pay your money. Now West Virginia would be awesome, where I'm from, because now it's constitutional carry, so you don't even need a permit. So just look whichever state your constitutional carry. I'd say those are probably the best, as long as they don't have any other weird restrictions. Yankee, would you recommend the new shooter build or buy their first AR? I would say buy it. Building them's fun at first, and then it just gets a little old. You just want to buy them. Someone's saying I've been ordering I guess that's Forged from Freedom lately, thanks to good advertisement. Best gun movie ever. I don't know. Don't know of any movies that were just based on guns, but movies that have the best guns in them, I don't know. Fast and the Furious had some nice guns in it. They're not Fast and the Furious. What was I saying? Fast and Furious. I was saying that because I saw the preview for it last night, and I'm like, when are they going to stop making these horrible movies? I was talking about the Magnificent Seven. It had some pretty cool guns in it because I like older guns. Let's see here. Can you explain the difference between... They just went away before I could even read what they were saying. John Wick. People are saying John Wick's got a lot of good guns in it. I've never seen John Wick or John Wick 2. So new. Let's see here. Revolver sight. I'm looking for a rear sight for an end-frame revolver that stands out more than just a black notch. I'll most likely go with the Big Dot front sight. What do you recommend? Well, the Big Dot has a little V that's got a little line on it, I think, don't they? Don't they come with that? Or is that just something you buy with it? But I changed mine out to one that's got the little V notch instead of the little, the little goalpost thing. It's got like a little V, and I think it's white outlined. So if that would do it for you, I don't know. How big is your 460 barrel? It is a snub nose. I think it's 3 inches, so it's short. It's abusive to shoot too. Why is this? Where's the best place in the home to put a gun safe? Is the basement all right, considering that it's a flood hazard for some people? If your basement's very damp, no, I wouldn't say put it in the basement. I mean, just put them where you want. Out of sight is best. So put them somewhere you think people are going to be less likely to see them. If other than that, put them wherever you can secure them the best. What do I think of shoulder holsters for carry? Fly guy. I do not like shoulder holsters. Like I say, they're very difficult to draw from properly. If they're vertical shoulder holsters, that's one thing. It's still hard to draw out of it, especially not without flagging your inner arm. If they're horizontal shoulder holsters, I don't like the fact that you're flagging somebody else while you put your hand on your gun to draw it. So if there's anybody behind you. So I do not like shoulder holsters. Are you familiar with rail track revolver rails? No, I'm not familiar with those. I carry a Glock 20 for concealed carry. I feel confident in how it handles the recoil, but some of the workers in my local gun range laughed about it and claimed that I won't be able to handle in a firefight. Any thoughts? Well, I mean, you know what you can handle, what you can't. I would find it really hard to believe that you can shoot a 10 millimeter as well as you can shoot a 9 millimeter or even a 45. So I'm not the biggest fan of 10 millimeter for carry, but you know, whatever you can handle, you can handle. That's up to you. Let's see here. I am thinking of getting a Ruger LCR for a backup gun. Is bleed off an issue I should worry about if I'm going to get in 38 special only? Would the ballistics of around a 380 out of the revolver is what? I'm not really. Some of you people, the way you word your questions, I assume that English is a second language. I think they're asking you, will a 38 special and a snub nose be worth it? It'll still be effective as a carry round. I wouldn't worry about it, especially if it's a backup gun. Would not worry about it. 40 Smith & Wesson mid-ground or 9 millimeter and 45. Good day, Yankee Marshall. I love your videos, and I am a big fan of 357 SIG. I've lost count of how many YouTube gun guys have opined that people like 40 Smith & Wesson because it's the Goldilocks between 9 millimeter and 45 auto. See, I don't even agree that it's between 9 millimeter and 45 auto. I think it's 9 millimeter 45 auto, then 40, because 40 is more powerful than the 45. So I don't ever get to where it's in between. It's got more bang than the 45, more recoil than the 45, more power than the 45. So I don't know where people think that's between the 9 millimeter and the 45. But let's get back to their question. Realistic 45 auto wasn't in the mind of the designers of the 40 at all. Rather, they actually set out to make a 9 millimeter length 10 millimeter round. Is the 40 compared to 45 auto just because it's a good round people are familiar with? Because people don't understand ballistics is why they compare it to the 45. It's because they actually believe the 40 is less powerful. 45. Oh, he's basically asking me if what I just said. It only gets compared to it because that's people think the number falls between, so they like, oh, it's right between them. No, the 40 is more powerful than the 45. So it's not between the 9 millimeter and the 45. So Japanese don't litter even at the gun range. Well, I don't know what that's about. And then these are all, I'm back into the questions about the dog. Don't want to get into those tonight. Let's see if I got any questions coming in over here. If not, I'll be able to get out of here early tonight. Get out of here after like a half an hour. You got me interested in the Kappa, but I cannot find any shops near me that carries them. Any ideas how to see them, or maybe you can get a chance to shoot one? Find someone in your area that's got one. I guess that would be my advice. Could you explain the benefit of converting a thumb safety to a decocker? Just for my own benefit. I would convert a thumb safety to a decocker because I don't like safeties on manual carry guns. So if I wanted to carry something like a Bread 92, convert it to a decocker, then it's a good carry gun because then you just decock it, put it in your holster, and it's ready to go, double action, single action, whenever you need it. You never have to worry about a safety being on. Because if you have a safety on your gun, there's two big mistakes people make with safeties on their guns. They assume that the safety is going to be off or easily taken off when they need their gun, and they assume the safety's on for stopping anything from going bad. And I think that there's two things that you should always assume about a safety. You should always assume that it's going to be off when you need it to be on, and you should always assume that it's going to be on when you need it to be off. And if you assume those two things, you'll do better with the safety. But I would just prefer not to have them, so I don't even have to worry about it. So I don't like dealing with them. Where's Gary? He's in the safe in the car. He's my backup for my car gun. Is there someone, if they asked, you would give them all your guns? No. Why would I give someone my guns? I don't understand that question. I don't care if the sexiest person alive offered to have sex with me a dozen times. They're not getting my guns. I'm too old to worry about that. So now, if someone came to me, I'll give you $1 billion for all your guns, like Bill Gates. If Bill Gates came to me right now and said, I'll give you $1 billion to throw all your guns away and never buy another one, right now, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would put that $1 billion in the bank, and then I'd hire me someone to carry a gun around all day long. Just follow me around armed. So yes, I would do that. Okay, things are going by too quick for me here. Have you picked up any new guns for your new safe? I have, but I'm not showing them to anybody yet. I showed them to the Patreon people, but I haven't shown them to anybody else yet. And that one I didn't make public accidentally, so you didn't see that one. Thoughts on the Jericho 941? I really don't have any. Mavis. Someone just said Mavis. I don't know why. Is YouTube your job? No, YouTube's not a job. YouTube's a hobby. I don't have a job right now. I'm freshly, mostly retired. So Bretta PX4 Storm subcompact and 40 or Smith or 40 and 40 Smith & Wesson for carry. I don't like the subcompact Beretta PX4 Storm. I love the Beretta PX4 Storm, but not the subcompact model, because the subcompact model, for one, it looks funky. Two, it loses the most important parts of the of the PX4. It doesn't have a rotating barrel. It goes to a regular flip-up barrel type. So just kind of ruins why I would go to that gun. Why did you leave law enforcement? Well, not to beat it to death or make a big deal out of it, but when I was there, it was not an open environment like it is today. Racism was not only accepted, it was expected and it was condoned. So didn't sit well with me. So, didn't like it. And I really hated having to like tell people to move along that were homeless, sleeping in a doorway kind of thing. That really breaks my heart. Just getting into guns. Any recommendations? Yes, buy one. I was rabbit hunting yesterday and I saw a rabbit. Went to fire and the safety was on. I missed the rabbit. I am a meat hunter. Well, yeah, see, there shouldn't have a safety. When you would have got you been eating some rabbit. Smith & Wesson 627 Performance Center in snub nose configuration versus the new Red Hawk 357 8-shot revolver. Well, the 627 is the better gun, I think. The Red Hawk's never been a massively wonderful gun. It's just been a good gun. The Smith's more refined. If you're wanting like a trail gun or a gun for like Alaska bush or something, then I'd probably say go with the Ruger, because it's a little thicker, it's a little heavier, it'll handle the recoil a little better. But otherwise, I would just go with the Smith, because I think it's the overall better gun. But, you're not going to lose either way. I live in a really rough city. As far as inside a car, how would you keep your gun ready? On the seat, on the floor, waist? Well, I would not put my gun on the seat. Now, in my cars, I do have a mounted holster, retention holster, that I can take my gun out of and stick in that safety if I'm in a bad area or like on a road trip, something like that. So it holds the gun securely, doesn't let it fly around if I hit the brakes real hard. So even in an accident, it should hold it unless the holster breaks loose. So yeah, I would get something specifically for mounting your gun in your car if you're there with it, and know your state laws about having your gun in your car in a holster, because some states don't allow it. Let's see here. I can see the questions popping up here, but I can't see them over here yet. Hey, hey Yankee, do you have any good rifle alternatives to an AR-15? Yeah, pretty much anything else you want. Everybody should have an AR-15 as far as I'm concerned, but I prefer a lever action gun any day of the week. I like lever actions. And if I was going to have a gun that I needed to count on to survive, it'd be a bolt action. You can't get more accurate than that, or a better hunting gun. Are you familiar with law that says a dealer can't sell handgun or handgun ammunition to anyone 18 years of age, but you can buy one through a private sale? Well, yeah, that's just the law. I don't know what they're asking about it. Yeah, you can buy a handgun at 18. You just can't buy it from an FFL. So in this state, you can't buy one, period, because you got a universal background check. So therefore, the FFL has to take possession of the gun and then sell it to you. And so you can't get them at 18. So that's one consequence of that law, is that 18-year-olds can't really buy handguns in Washington anymore. Can I sue the federal government for constitutional rights violation? You can sue anyone for anything. You're not going to win anything. No, unless they've totally done something blatant, and then you'll do it to the organization that did the blatant thing to you. But if you're talking about, like, can I sue them because they restrict the Second Amendment? Nope, because Supreme Court's already backed them up multiple times on the fact that they can do that. So you wouldn't win a damn thing. How do you feel about the Second Amendment with regards to destructive devices such as grenades? Should civilians be allowed to own them? It's illegal to kill somebody with a grenade, right? And you can make pipe bombs and you can make anything else. So why shouldn't they be allowed to have them? Thoughts on the GP 144 special for concealed carry? Don't like the Hillary holes on Smiths. The GP 100 just big. I don't care for it. It's big. It's heavy. I wouldn't carry it. I'm about to be a corrections officer, and we carry a Glock 22 and 40. What's your opinion on these? It's a good duty gun. That's about all I can say. Thoughts on the 10mm round? Do you like it or own any firearms in this caliber? I own a couple of guns in this caliber. I like it. Wouldn't be my preferred caliber pretty much for anything. If I was going to go like big game, it'd be bigger. It'd be like a 44 Magnum or larger. If I was going to go carry a gun, it would be smaller, so something I could actually handle better. So yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice on anything, but I own some because I figure I should own some of any prominent ammo type. But yeah, would not be my first choice. Let's go over here and see if there's any questions in the chat. They always bitch that I'm ignoring them over here. Corrections officers with a gun inside the prison. Oh, well, I don't know what he's doing. You know, they do other things too. So sometimes they're on like road crew and stuff. I've seen them with guns on road crew and everything. What do you think of the awesome pistol High Point 45? Yeah. Would you carry a single action revolver as a backup gun in your car? Probably not. I mean, it was great back when they were popular and they're fun to shoot, but I wouldn't consider them a optimal self-defense gun. I mean, but you would be really accurate probably. So, I mean, I guess if you want to carry one, I'm not going to tell you not to. I mean, if you want to keep one for backup, I'm not going to tell you not to. Any experience with the urban carry? I've got one sitting in the little satchel right over here they sent to me, but I still haven't used it yet. I got to get around to it. Do you still have your CZ Rammy since you really don't like it? I've still got it. It just don't use it. I did have that. The reason I was reaching up, I had that holster up here, but I've moved it over there because I'm getting ready to move this big safe. In fact, as soon as I get done with this chat, my son's coming down and he's got a friend here, and we're going to move this safe over next to my other safe, kind of like at an angle with my other safe, because I'm moving all this stuff over to the other side of my garage because I've got this big space here, this big studio that's 12 feet. Well, no, wait, it's 13 feet by about 24, 25 feet. But I only use about 8 feet on that end of it and about 3 feet of it on this end of it. So all that space in the middle, like from here to the curtain and from the curtain over to where I do my filming, is just wasted space. And if I put anything in that space, I got to go around it whenever I'm going back and forth all day. So I'm reconsolidating everything over onto that side where I'll be closer to where I film, my table and everything. And then I'm going to make this into a workout area over here. So that's what I've been doing. I've got drywall dust all over me and been walling and everything else, drywalling and stuff. So what to teach wife after shooting fundamentals? Same thing you would teach anyone. I mean, it's not any different teaching your wife, except that I've always said, don't teach your wife how to shoot. Have a friend teach your wife how to shoot, because your wife's not going to listen to you. So do that. Someone, what are your thoughts on the Smith & Wesson 686 full size stainless? Well, what do you mean full size? Do you mean like a 6-inch barrel? Because that's not their large frame, it's their medium frame. I don't like long barrels. 4 inches is about as long as I go on a barrel. Is the Gen 3 Glock better than the Gen 4? I don't know if it is or not. I don't think that it is. I know the Gen 4's had a lot of problems when they first started out, but they've got those worked out by now, I'm sure. So wouldn't worry about that too much. If I said under the age of 18, I meant 21. Well, I think that's the way I was reading it. If I said different, if I said under 18, I meant at 18, you can buy a gun. At 21, you can buy one from an FFL. I don't know if I said it wrong or not either. What do you do with your gun when you take a dump in public restrooms? I actually have a video on that, so look at my video. It's got just a video completely dedicated to that. Why does everybody say car pistols are such quality? They just seem like any other polymer molded pistol to me. And no, they're not talking about the just to sell the firearms. I think if most people talk about why cars are so good, it's because of people who like a good trigger. The car probably has one of the best double action triggers in the game. I mean, that thing is awesome. Never had a gun that's had a better trigger than a car as far as a polymer gun goes. So I think that's why people say cars are so good. Did you look at the Grand Power pistols as well? No, I haven't. They said when I looked at the ad of the arms, no, I didn't really. The person earlier was talking about the full size 686. They're talking about the 8-inch barrel. I mean, I don't know why you want it for unless you're going to hunt with it. Other than that, I wouldn't want an 8-inch barrel. Have you had to draw your gun again since Birmingham? No, I have not. In my private life, now I've taken my gun out to do other things, like I had to clear my restaurant one time. I thought I heard someone kick a door in and would look on the security cameras and couldn't see anybody because, I had every room covered with security cameras, but I'm like, I just heard someone like kicking the door, but didn't see anything. I don't want to be the guy that calls 911 and then it's a cat knocking over a garbage can, because that's the stupidest thing when people go, oh, just call 911, don't go look. Yeah, like I'm going to call 911 every time something goes bump in the night. Grow up, pussy. What was I saying? Oh, and I go back to what I was doing, and then I hear it again. It sounds like someone kicked the door in. So I pulled my gun and went and kind of checked around my restaurant, and almost shot my ice machine because I just got a new ice machine that day, one of the great big industrial ice machines, and the bin was empty, and they had just turned it on when we closed that night to get it started, and it was dumping big sheets of ice into an empty bucket, and it was making this big crashing noise. So as I walked into the kitchen and didn't see anything, I thought that's where the sound was coming from. So as I turned to walk out of the kitchen, it dropped another big sheet of ice, and I whirled around scared shitless, and it was my ice machine. Almost shot my ice machine, my brand new ice machine. So I've had to draw it, but not in self-defense, unless you count self-defense against an ice machine. Can you put a decocker on any pistol with a safety? No. Are you going to follow West Virginia in the March Madness? No, I don't follow professional sports. Why do I give a fuck what a bunch of millionaires do? A bunch of raping, drunk driving, child abusing, rules don't apply to them millionaires that run up and down a court in their satin little pants all day long. Why do I care about those people? And I'm not playing, so why should I get any enjoyment out of it? Oh, they made a basket. Do you have any cons about the FNX 45? I don't really think so. For what it is, I think it's pretty perfect for what it is. What gun websites has been begging to get on for 5 minutes now? Well, where is he? He didn't send me an email. Let me make sure. Let me make sure he didn't send me an email before I say anything. No, he didn't. He didn't send me an email. I'll send him something over on gun channels, but I can't get back on gun channels now. So if he's out there, too late. You missed out. Unless you send me a message and then I'll send you a link. You can come in if you got something you got to say. If not, I'm going to be closing it up here in a few minutes. I don't see him. Where are you saying he's on the chat? I haven't seen a single thing about him from him. I know I'm not looking at every comment though, because they're going by pretty quick. And I got to, when I look over here to watch when I look over here to check my emails, I don't see the chat. What do you mean the message on the chat? What do you mean he said something in the chat window? Well, I probably didn't see that. He's got my email and my text number. He needs to make sure he didn't send me a text. Hold on, I gotta make sure he didn't send me a text. No, he did not. So he didn't send me. What's this? I don't know what that's for. Oh. Okay, nope, he didn't send me anything. So we'll keep moving. Do you own a Smith & Wesson Model 19? No, I don't. I wish I did. I don't have one right now. Can you do a video on your Jeep under seat safe? I actually have one up already. Search my videos. I don't know how easy it is to find videos on people's things, but go to my videos and search for Jeep, I guess, or car safe or something, and you should be able to find it. If not, it's hard to search those things. Maybe I'll repost it sometime soon. Beretta 92 SB Marshall. John websites just texted me. I gotta see how I can get a link to him in the. I'm gonna try to email him one. Let's see if emailing him one works. Yeah, copy. And then I go to my inbox. Oh, I'm on my. There we go. He did send me an email. I'm on my shooting left to center email. He sent it to my. Sent it to my Yankee Marshall email, which I didn't even know I was stuck on just shooting left to center here. So there, now he's got one. So maybe he'll be here in here in a moment or two. He must have something to say, or else he'd probably just be like, yeah, screw it. Let's see here. Let me see where I'm at on questions. Got pretty much most of them answered now, I think. Now, see, I'm getting a bunch of other crap. I got to get back to where I was. Do you prefer the blue revolver or stainless? I like the looks of blued guns better, especially if they've got wood grips on them. I mean, a well-blued gun with a good, beautiful wooden grip looks amazing. But stainless is better for carry, I think. For one, it's less prone to issues. And if it gets damaged, it's easier to fix. So that's why I like stainless for carry. And I like the way a polished stainless gun looks. It just looks amazing, and a matte stainless looks good too. I mean, stainless looks good, but nothing looks as good as a nice blued gun with a good wood grip. So that's what I would prefer. But Marshall, I picked up a Beretta S92 SB. When I stripped it, I had pretty serious wear on the slide directly underneath the sight. Well, I'm assuming you're probably talking about where that hits the firing pin safety, which is fairly normal. So unless I can see a picture, I won't really know what you're talking about. Are you shilling for Liberty safes? Part of the agreement for a safe was that you had to put it in your background for all the new vids. Nope. They didn't have any requirements. They said I could take it out and blow it up if I wanted to. So no, I just thought it was pretty. So I put it in the background because I'd been getting tired of doing the green screen all the time, but I wasn't motivated to make myself a new background. So that safe kind of coming in when I wasn't expecting it was my motivating thing to get myself rearranging and doing all the stuff I'm doing now. So no, they didn't ask anything of me. I will not sign any agreements for stuff like that, which is why I don't get a lot of stuff like that, because I won't sign the agreements. Are you planning on going to Atlanta for the annual NRA convention? This is from Paul Z. No, I am not. It's too freaking far. I don't like flying that far.
What about
wait a second, what's happened now? You caught me by surprise. What'd you say there?
How muggy would it be in Atlanta in April?
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be fun. I used to live in Huntsville, Alabama, and used to go to Atlanta like on the weekends all the time, but I just don't want to fly there. I mean, it's just a long ways for me. I wish they would hold the NRA thing somewhere out here, but they never do. So I guess you're in.
Matt you off tonight too?
Matt called me and said he was sick. I tried to get on gun channels and it wouldn't let me on.
Yeah, we had some kind of glitch earlier. That's when I figured out, I thought I had an hour. I think I did, but then it took me way longer to drop Bob off. I'm re-Ubering Bob around.
You mean your Canadian slave?
Yeah, the other way around. I'm driving him all around for nothing.
Oh, well, that's not. He's supposed to be the driver. You're supposed to be sitting in the back seat eating like fruit roll-ups and stuff. Why?
Yeah, exactly. Now his car blew up, so we were messing with that, and then I had to return a tool, and there was a lady in the bar next door decided to get drunk and plow into like I think 3 vehicles and 2 motorcycles, so it sort of screwed with my schedule tonight.
Oh, that makes it for a fun night. At least it was exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I had something to look at while I was waiting to return the tool at the auto parts store.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about tonight since you're in here now?
No, I was just mad struggle to get back on time, so I guess I missed that. It's like you're almost about to end, right?
Oh yeah, because I just since Matt wasn't available and I couldn't get hold of you, I was just like, oh, I'll just do a question and answer thing tonight. So, anybody got any questions for G-Webs? If anybody's got a question for G-Webs, now's the time to ask like the AK questions and stuff. But you usually do the AK chat after this, don't you?
Yeah, it'll start right after this. So if you have AK questions, just head over to the website. So
yeah. So save your AK questions for
nobody wants to deal with that in here.
The next chat, yeah, because they always ask me AK questions and I never really know the answers. So
well, you got a couple, though.
Huh?
You got a couple though. You can give them some insight on the ones you got.
And yeah, I mean, I've got a couple, and I can tell people about those ones. But as far as like when people go, well, I want one from Yugoslavia, and what's the difference between the one from Yugoslavia and the one from Poland? And I'm like, the fuck do I know? So that's just a general question. That's not an actual question. That was me making up a question because there might not be a difference.
I see when they came in for both of us. If the world fell apart, I think, or something, and we had to leave the house, what weapon would you choose? I'm choosing my mind. I'm pretty sure that's what Yankee's going to say.
Would you choose?
My mind.
Oh, yeah. These are deadly weapons, right? I would take those with me. But if I had to take a gun, I don't know what I would take. It's those questions are really hard because you start, it's going to depend a lot on what's happening when I have to flee my house. Are we at war with the aliens or am I just having a flood or something? What's going on?
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Like if a truck broke down, blowing off gas or something, they want to evacuate your neighborhood. That's a little different than the Chinese invading or something.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's the aliens have come, I'm going to grab like something like my AK or something, or and run. If it's just you got to get out of the neighborhood right now, I'm going to put my favorite revolver on my hip and go. So those questions are always hard to answer. Society breaking down. That whole idea of bugging out when society breaks down. If you've got to run, you're probably going to die. So take whatever you want. Your best bet is to be able to be self-sufficient where you're at for a while. And
then like maybe we take 80% of that effort and keep society going.
What's that?
Maybe take 80% of that effort towards worrying about the worst case scenario and just keep society going.
Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah, instead of planning for the fall, we should prevent the fall, I guess. What does your mustache smell like? It doesn't smell. I don't have a mustache right now. I've got a little bit of a fuzz, but I don't got a mustache, and it doesn't smell like anything. It smells like my upper lip, I guess. Good thing Rambo was a fictional character. I don't understand what they're talking about right there. Society breakdown, AR with a couple uppers. They're getting stuck on this society breakdown thing now. I'm using my children's pack mules. My 432 PDJ frame is being serviced after an issue with the trigger almost freezing up. When it is fixed, how many shots without fail is sufficient before? Oh, revolver. I guess they're basically asking us like how many rounds you got to put through a revolver before you trust it. If I put a cylinder through a revolver and there's no obvious problems, I usually pretty much trust it.
That's true, but this one is one that had an issue and was serviced. So I guess if there was something you could do to recreate what caused it, maybe try pushing it. But yeah, I think what Yankee's saying, I mean, a revolver either works or it's broken, or you get a jam like a bullet, like a squib, and that's about the only thing that can hurt a revolver.
Okay, this question is for G-Webs, although they can't listen because we said save the AK questions for the next chat. But he wants to know what AK should a first-time buyer look into. That's probably one of those hard to answer questions too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a ridiculous question. So one that's available to you and you can afford, and you're not going to find the perfect one. There's too many of them. So if you're just exploring it, find one that you can afford, that is available to you, buy it, enjoy it. If you like it and you want to buy more, then start figuring out what are different about the other ones than yours, and then you can make a more informed decision at that point. But you're talking about a gun that there's more of those guns made than any other gun. So that's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, because they're just all over the place for what's available, and so yeah, that'd be that's like saying, what is the first gun a person should buy? Like, yeah, depends on the person and what they want it for, and what's available near to them and all this other stuff. Let's see here. Is there anything coming in here new questions wise? I'm not really seeing anything. Someone's asking if I'm familiar with the Sensible Prepper. I think I am. How much prepping do people really need? I always, my idea of being prepped is having enough food in the house that I could stay in the house for a while, having enough water in the house that I could survive in the house for a while. I always say you should have at least 2 weeks, of stuff in your house, water and food that you could survive for 2 weeks with no power, no water, no nothing. I take it further. I've got enough food and water to last a year for my entire family, but 2 weeks is minimum. A year, I think, is plenty. That's going to help you outride anything short term. And, if it gets long term, you're going to have to be planting gardens and doing everything else. So that's kind of hard to prep for. There's no amount of prepping you can do to be ready for that. You feel differently?
That's an interesting one. What was the original question?
How much prepping do we really need to do? People that are, to be prepared.
I was going to say, well, you kind of changed it at the end there where you made me think, but has you ever heard of an answer kind of like you don't have to be able to outrun the bear, just the guy next to you? Like, is an answer for that like a little bit more prepping than your neighbors, so that, like you're saying, if you need to ride something out, you can just be comfortable a little bit longer than everybody else. So I don't know. I mean, it's like a cold.
And then also you could look at it as too, if you're more prepared than your neighbors, then you can just eat your neighbors.
Well, I guess what I'm thinking, yeah, if the neighbors get desperate and leave, then you've got less danger and more potential to scrounge, I guess, or something. So I don't know if you have to go necessarily overboard. And then, like you say, that's a weird question to ask, because if you're out on a ranch someplace and you're kind of self-sufficient anyway, it's a totally different situation than if you're in an apartment somewhere where you have limited space and just people on top of you.
That's big difference. Yeah, because like back where I'm from, where we have a 176 acre farm, we don't, and well water, we're pretty much ready.
Prepping is like, oh, you're turning off the electric? Okay, so we're putting on like candles or whatever.
Yeah, like lanterns. We got lanterns and stuff. So yeah, we got lamp oil. We actually got we still got a big drum outside the garage that, outside the barn, the red barn, that is just oil for like lamps and stuff, because we used to light everything with lamps out there. So.
Well, John Smith is a good one. What's the dumbest reason you bought a new gun? I don't know if it's the dumbest, but my probably least defensible one is I bought a box of 20 gauge accidentally one time. So I bought a 20 gauge so that I would have a gun for it.
Yeah, that's a bad reason. I've done the same thing. Something like, I got this ammo. Someone gave me this ammo, so now I need a gun. Or I actually did I bought my SIG P238 because someone gave me because it was in a box of, like old holsters, like give one, leave one, take one kind of things at your gun shop. And it was a little Mustang holster, a little Colt Mustang. And the guy that owns the shop said, here, you might want this. You might have one of these. And he threw me the little Mustang holster. And I'm like, I don't have one. He said, we'll keep it and buy one. And then I found out the SIG P238 fits it too. So I bought a SIG P238 because he gave me that holster.
Yeah, those are pretty much the same dimensions as a Mustang, huh? Just a little more squared a little bit.
Yeah, they fit the holster just perfectly. So Yank bought an Evo because someone gave him a stock. I didn't buy the Evo because someone gave me the stock. I was actually buying the Evo and someone said, hey, I've got a stock. Do you want it? And I was like, well, sure. I didn't buy the stock because of that. And this is for the answer to the person that asked me a little bit ago about what did I mean when I said I was the lead technical advisor for my gun shop. Now, they basically just hired me not as a job. I don't work for them and they don't pay me. It's a job where I don't get paid and I really don't have to do anything. But now that I'm listed as an employee and I'm listed on their paperwork as their technical advisor, if I go in and buy, like, let's say I go in and buy a short barreled rifle. Normally they would have to put that in a safe for 8 months and I wouldn't see it for the 8 months until my stamp came in. Well, now since I'm the technical advisor, I can buy it. They'll put it in a safe for 8 months, but I can that day take it out to test it and keep it for as long as I want, as long as I bring it back within 24 hours after they have a recall from the ATF. So I can actually buy something and then use it for as long until my tax stamp comes in. So it won't technically legally be mine until the tax stamp comes in, but I can still use it as an employee.
Well, it's legally the possession of the gun shop that you work for.
Yeah.
So, employee, you're using their resources.
Yep. And it's totally legal. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, I have my gun shop. They're probably not going to just do that for anybody because it's a big risk for them. But I guess they consider I'm not that risky. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm consultant at a couple of shops. And, you can get those kind of, what do you call that? Like relationships with shops. Number one, bring donuts in, bring pizzas in once in a while. Be friendly. You know, just shop there, buy something when you go into shops. You know, keep in mind they want to stay open, and yeah, keep your ears open. I mean, just yeah, you can make good friends with shops. I like doing it for going to gun shows and stuff. If they need somebody to watch their table while they go in the bathroom or something, get a free pass to a gun show that way.
Oh yeah, that's always a good idea. Yeah, you never know. I mean, like I said, I didn't even ask them to do this. They were just like, "Hey, you want to do this?" So that way, if you want to go out and do a video, because it started because they say I don't shoot a lot. And I'm like, I really don't like filming at the range, and I don't film myself shooting a lot. And I'm like, they're like, we know you go to the range like twice a week. Why don't you do more videos from the range? I'm like, it's just not that much fun to film, and I don't really have anything worth filming usually. And they're like, well, then why don't we put you on our payroll here? Technically, and then if you want to like come in and borrow a short barreled rifle, or you want to come in and borrow a suppressor, that'd be something more interesting to film. And that's how it kind of started. And then I was like, well, if I'm on your thing and I buy a gun, would I be able to take it out and test it? And they're like, well, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, let's just do that. So I've bought a couple of things from them since then, and I get to hold on to it until my stamp comes in. Is Washington better than Oregon for life quality? Not really. I mean, about the same. I've never noticed any difference. I just lived on one side of the river than the other, so about the same to me because they're just right on both sides.
Isn't there a tax thing that's different? Like you don't have sales tax and they do, or something?
Well, I mean, they don't have sales tax in Oregon, but they have a income tax. In Washington, we don't have an income tax, but we have a sales tax. So since I live around the border, I mean, if I wanted to, hypothetically, I could just do all my shopping on one side of the river and not pay any sales tax, and then come back over here and then not pay income tax because I live and work over here.
Uh-oh. What is the name of that river that's between the two states?
The one between us, that's the Columbia.
So that's the Columbia River loophole.
Yeah, the Columbia River loophole. It's the Columbia Gorge. I'm on one side of the Columbia Gorge, and Portland's on the other. So, ooh, it's almost 8 o'clock already. It's time to be going. And I got to get out of here because, like I said, I got to move this big safe right here. As soon as we turn this off, I'm going to move it over there and shift all my computer and stuff over there. I was trying to get it done before tonight.
Is that why you didn't bolt it down already? I was wondering why you didn't bolt the thing down.
The black one is staying where it's at. I've got it where I like it now, but now I'm moving my big gray one over there.
Oh, your old one.
Yeah, because I'm moving my computer and stuff. You weren't here for that. I'm moving all my computer and stuff over there because I've got this 25-foot long garage, and I'm only using like 6 feet on one end and 8 feet on the other, and all that space in the middle is wasted, and I can't put anything in there because then I got to walk around it whenever I go from my computer station to my filming station. So I'm moving all that stuff closer together down on that end, and then I'm making a workout room on this end.
Are you doing anything to the safes, or are you just going to keep them like two-tone?
Yeah, I want to be gray, I want to be black.
Okay.
So it'll be like, I guess.
Do the doors open apart from each other or anything like that? Are they both open?
They both will open the same way, so it'll be. Okay. They won't. I won't bang them into each other or anything. I guess it'll be like old safe, new safe, black safe, blue safe. Except this one's not blue; it's gray, but that doesn't rhyme.
So have you already figured out like the sorting arrangement, like the good guns go in one safe and then the other ones go in there?
No, I haven't. I haven't even thought about it. I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy, but I want to get. I do want to put my nicer guns in the nice new safe because I mean, if you're going to have the nicer safe, might as well put your stuff you don't want to lose in it.
Is one of them? I mean, one of them's bigger. The Liberty's bigger now.
No, they're both the same size.
Oh, okay. So is one of them better inside than the other, like with light and that kind of thing?
Well, I've got a new light kit put in this one, so it's well lit. But the inside of the Liberty safe is night and day. It's like the difference between, like, as far as like inside of, imagine riding in a Honda Civic compared to riding inside like a Bentley.
Yeah, like cheap furniture versus nice furniture. It's like
exactly. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's like the one right here next to me. The shelves are that cheap felt, like really cheap, really fuzzy felt.
Stapled to particle wood or whatever.
Yeah, just stapled literally to particle wood. And the other one is this nice textured material, and it's actually wrapped and glued onto the wood and everything. And it's just, and it's got notches cut in it so that the shelves don't slide out past the racks, whereas the other ones are just straight shelves, and you can, they can actually work their way out and stuff can fall in the behind of them and stuff. I mean, it's just the little things that are enormously better in the nicer safe. It came with the lighting system is better. It's got a plug outlet in it. This one didn't have an outlet in it. I mean, it's just
like the outlet inside, like you can literally plug something in inside of it.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
is
got
for doing hard drives and stuff inside, so you can leave like your net storage inside of the safe.
yeah, it's got power outlets in there, of course, but then it's got like a high-speed internet outlet and some and a USB outlet for stuff in there too, which I'm not sure why, but it does.
Well, that's because you put your shared hard drives in there, and then that way your family's hard drive stuff is downstairs inside a fire safe.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I need to do that. I need to put my I've got one of those time capsule that you just automatically backs up to, so I need to put that in there. I didn't even think about that.
I think that's why they started putting that stuff in there to make that. And then of course you got your bio safes or whatever. Some people will put safes inside of their safes, right? If you got that thing open all day and you want to keep jewelry in there or something, you know, some people put a smaller safe, so sometimes they have.
It's got a jewelry drawer. It's got a really nice jewelry drawer, so we'll be moving some jewelry over to it. But
I got another question about logistics there. You put all your stuff in racks. You don't have like a bunch of guns in a pile because you need a safe for them. You just were crowded in there. So do you have enough, like, what do you call, like I call it display stuff, because you're going to have room now to be able to make a nice attractive looking setup, because they're not going to be all on top of each other. Do you already have enough like of those stands and stuff, or you got to like order?
I just got a box today.
Okay.
With 6 more of the 6-gun racks, the wire racks to put in the new one.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. We all know pretty good idea of what you got in your collection from sneak peeks at your safes and whatnot before in your videos and what. So it's going to be, can you imagine being Yankee sitting in his garage there at some point when he's got the evening to himself, and then just to be able to arrange 2 safes? That's got to be super fun.
Well, that's what the part I'm looking forward to. Right now I'm doing the getting it running. So I'm not having the fun part yet. But this is the old safe. As you can see, it's pretty much empty now. There's just a couple of rifles left in it. Okay. And you can see it's that cheap fuzzy felt that's just stapled on.
Yep. Mine all fell apart. Mine was even worse than that. Like the staples kind of just gave out.
Yeah, and I redid these ones because they weren't very good, so I made my own. Actually,
you keeping that same arrangement, or are you gonna? Well, I guess you haven't gotten into how you're gonna have them next to each other, like kind of match shelves or something.
I haven't decided yet, but the big problem with one of this too is the shelves, Bo, because they're such cheap shelves.
Yeah, all that wood on them. Especially if you don't have a dehumidifier. People don't think about that, but if you don't put a dehumidifier in there, you're getting your wood all, potentially damp, and it's going to have that consistent heavy weight on it all the time. It's not helping that bow.
Yeah, I don't like my wood damp. Good way to get a rash.
But we're way over now. And you got people over to move that safe?
Yeah, I've got someone here to help. So my son and a friend of his. So it's not really like I've got like people that matter. But was for coming tonight, and even G-Webs for showing up here at the end. Wasn't really a traditional chat tonight, but I think it went pretty well. Everybody's sick and everything else this week, so it's kind of hard to get everything done. And you can tell I'm just stalling until I can find my music, because that's what I'm doing. Oh, there we go.
Right on. So we'll do another one in a couple of weeks, every other week.
Yep, there'll be another one in 2 weeks. There will be an AK chat right after this one on gunchannels.com. Go over to gunchannels.com if you want to do the AK chat, if you got some AK questions. Anything else you want to plug real quick?
Freedom and liberty.
Freedom and liberty. Do those really need a plug, though?
Oh, hold on. I'm not talking liberty safes, but liberty as far as like.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to say thanks. Good country, good audience. Thanks for having us on, or me on. It's great, man.
Thanks for being here, and thanks to everyone that was watching, and we will see you all later.